I'm Tamea Eagle. Yeah. I grew up in Ohio, in Beaver Creek. It's around Dayton. Beaver Creek it's pretty small, but it's getting bigger. When I was growing up, it was all farms. Now it's developed and everything, and there's a lot more stuff there. To me, in LA, there's somewhere for everyone to fit in. There's even like weird little niches. Anything that you're into, somebody else out here is into it. So like if someone asks what I do, and I say I'm a concert photographer, they're like, oh, okay, cool. If you say that in Ohio, and they just kind of look at you like you have a tree growing out of your face or something, because everybody there just kind of focuses on different things, which is great. That's perfectly fine. It's just not quite what I fit into, really. But yeah, it's good people and it's my family, but it's not quite where I feel at home. It's definitely not home anymore. LA is definitely more where I fit and where the people that I gravitate to are. So it's different for sure. I started doing photography in, I guess, junior high or high school, and I had this amazing photography teacher in high school. That's how I got into the photography. And after that, I decided to do on-set photography, and that's kind of what brought me out to LA. But I fell into the concert photography. I love music, and I always have, but I never really had a background in it. I just shot so many music videos that people asked me to come out to their shows, and it kind of snowballed after meeting a few key people. For what I do specifically for shooting people and shooting like the bands and everything, for the pictures where it's like a posed band, some of those they speak a little bit. They tell a little bit of a story. They tell maybe who those people are in their persona. When I drove across the country, and I've done it 3 times, those pictures to me speak 1,000 words, because I stayed in a cabin on the north rim of the Grand Canyon. I was walking along, and at sunset it was just amazing. It was beautiful. So I took a picture of it, but you can't even see that the canyon's there because of how it was exposed. I just went for the sunset and like the trees and everything. To me, that picture speaks 1,000 words because it's where I was. It was a trip from Ohio to Los Angeles. And other people might see it and might be like, okay, that's a gorgeous sunset. So I think depending on the person who's seeing it and the person who took it and the picture itself, sometimes they say 1,000 words, sometimes it's 1,000,000, sometimes it's just a couple. For the project that I'm most kind of pushing, kind of planning right now, it's basically, it started off as my sister and I would do like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, So, and I always thought that was I was a movie kid. I loved movies, I loved actors. I would always I would know who was in everything. So I would always connect people, So I thought that was cool. And then for whatever reason, it never dawned on me that you could do that with like your friends and you could get wherever. And within just a couple minutes, my sister and I realized that within just a couple degrees, we were already at like the president at the time. And we were already, so like if we were that close to the president, then we were that close to just one step away from all the people that he had met. So I was always kind of fascinated by that idea that the world is so big and everybody's so spread out. I live 2,000 miles away from my family, but just these little degrees of separation, you can be so connected to someone on the other side of the world. So that's kind of what interests me, that I would like to be able to take pictures, travel to some people that I'm connected to by these degrees, and interview these people, talk to them about, how they live their life, what their beliefs are, how they feel about, what's going on in their specific country or their specific neighborhood. For other people and for the book, my hope is that I can show kind of a connectivity between, if you're reading it in Ohio, or you're reading it in LA, or you're reading it in Belfast or Africa or wherever, you can connect to these people and you can see how you're similar and different, and just kind of a snapshot of their life. So that's what I'd like to show people, that they're connected, everybody matters, and everybody is making an impact on the world in one way or another. So it reaches out to everybody in weird little steps. Somebody over there might do something that matters to you and you don't even know it, but it impacted your life in some way.